Welcome back. Now we're going to start with data types, and data types are the foundations from which all things that you are going to do in both programming as well as low code, no code, including N8N, it is a good understanding to make sure that you have at least a foundational understanding of data types. Okay, so we're going to start off with the most simplest one because we see this and use this every day, whether we realize it or not, whether we're typing an email, going on the internet, we're typing things on our keyboard, and that is just a bunch of text that we're typing. Now, it's important to understand what a character or what text is because in terms of, geeky programming type stuff, it has a special meaning. So these are characters and symbols. This is what it means to have a text. Okay, so this is the letter A, B, C, D, so on and so forth. But in addition to that, there are numbers. And numbers, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but numbers are treated differently, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then there's symbols, like the hashtag or the symbol, %, caret, star, asterisk, whatever you want to call it. And so all of these characters, numbers, and symbols are all considered text when we're talking about the data type of text. Now, there's a special thing that happens when you classify a number not as text, but literally as a number. And the difference is that you can do mathematical operations on it. If you have the number 1 plus 1, you're going to get 2. But if you try to add the text, the character 1, even though it is a number, to another text character 1, you're going to basically get an error because it doesn't know how to do math on characters. Because 1, yes, it's a number, it's just a string or a character. Now, other types of numbers that you have are these things called floats and decimals, and we see this with money all the time. You got, things like pi 3.145, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so you've got all of those as well. And these are usually used in financial or mathematical or scientific calculations and things of that nature. The last one to understand, and this one sounds funny for most that are not coming from a programming background, but just think of this as a light switch, okay? It's either on or it's off. And so they come in a couple of different varieties depending on what it is that you're using as a programming language. They're either true or false, or 1 or 0, where 1 is true or on, and 0 is off. And then you have yes and no, and there's all different types of things. This is what it means to be binary or Boolean, okay? And so it's just a bit, and a bit is a 0 or a 1. It's either on or it's off, okay? So again, think of Boolean like a light switch. All right, and then finally, we're going to get to date and time. Now, date and time, hopefully self-explanatory, but I do want to preface to say that some programming languages have time as a separate function, some of them have date as a separate function, and some of them don't do any of them other than just combine them together and call date time. And you're going to see how N8N handles this and all of the different operational, things that you can potentially do there. All right, that's it for this one. This is the foundation because now we're going to talk about variables in the next video, and this is going to be so much clearer when we get into that portion. We'll see you in the next video.